What up, SOBs? My name is Andrew ORVEDAHL. I am filling in for Jared Logan, who I guess gets one night off a year, maybe once every 2 years. I am more than honored to be here as a fan of the stream and a fan of the show, and I guess more than anything, a fan of Jared himself. It's super cool to guest on this show. I realize Jared leaves some pretty big boots to fill. They're up to here. You can't see them off screen, but I'm like just in one of the boots right up to here. I'm just sitting in it. So I'm very excited to be here. And I love the Neptune Society. And hopefully you all will enjoy this adventure. Maybe don't think of it like Jared's Coca-Cola. Maybe this is like a diet Sprite. Think of it like that. I'm just going to get right into it and bring in our guests. We've got three fantastic players. The first guest tonight, she was the head writer on Earth to Net on Disney Plus. If you've watched that, you know it's amazing. If you haven't, check it out. She also has a terrific comedy album called Regarding My Lovers. Please welcome ELIZA Skinner.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Me too. God, I love your place.
You're in a wooden house just like me. This is so crazy.
Yeah, gotta watch out for matches and termites.
So wild. Yep.
Yeah.
The two dangers of any wooden house, and wolves.
Yeah.
Big bad wolves specifically.
Right.
How are you doing? You just played in the previous Neptune Society adventure, so you're coming right back, and you're bringing this the same character. So
yeah, I thought I had to, so I am.
I'm not sure what the rules are with your characters or not, but I'm glad you did. I think that's very cool because as viewers who saw the last adventure will know, Franny Chump, your character, went from being a barmaid who just kind of got sucked up in the adventure to becoming a member of the Neptune Society. And our adventure tonight takes place 3 years later than that. So I'm just curious, and I know maybe some of the fans of the show are curious, what has Franny Chump been doing these last 3 years while she's in the Neptune Society?
You want me to say that now? Give it all away?
Or just, okay, maybe just tease it if you want to just breadcrumb
it. She's become a bit of a ghost hunter for hire, right? Doing a little this, a little that, some Bob, some of your uncle, a bit of midwifery when needed.
Wow. So ghost busting / delivering babies.
Yeah, beginning and end of the life process.
Wow, yeah. Does she get like ghost busting tips from the babies since they just came out of this ghost zone?
It's very dark.
It's
a very dark assumption.
Great.
She's been working on scooting that accent all over the globe. So listen for that.
Well, I mean, the Neptune Society goes all over, and she's been a member for 3 years, so she could really have any accent in the meantime. She's been traveling to so many countries. Who knows? Our next guest, she plays and streams all over. Game streams all over, plays a huge variety of games with a huge variety of people. Please welcome NOURA IBRAHIM. Hello. It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. I'm so excited because this game, which I very rarely get to do, but it's with a whole bunch of lovely new humans that I've never gamed with before, which makes me very excited. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to meet you. And has your character, Belinda Swarovski, is she already a member of the Neptune Society, or is this her first mission with them?
This is a brand spanking new mission with these people, so I'm excited.
Nice.
This is all new adventure.
Cool. And last but not least, the third and final guest, they are the Dungeon Master in a stream called Better Than Heroes, of which I am also a player, and they are my co-host on the Dungeon Talk show that we do every Thursday. Please welcome HARLAN Kelly.
Hi, hello. Hi.
Hello. Look at us. We're not muted. We're not. Everything is technically proficient. This is amazing.
Secret GM Clint over here.
Yeah, huge shout out to secret GM Clint Trucks behind the scenes, making this amazing. There he is. Not so secret anymore. Harlan, this is your very first time even playing Call of Cthulhu, correct?
It's true. I played a lot of other games, a lot of D&D. Big Cthulhu fan. Never played, so I'm super excited. Can't wait for you to murder my character immediately, Andrew.
Well, hopefully it won't be immediately. That would be truly sadistic. Like carriage crash. You're all maimed.
And then just an hour and a half long soliloquy from you.
Yeah, and then I just talk about movies that I've seen for the rest of the stream.
And that's when we all roll for sanity.
Yeah.
Yes. So your character that you're bringing is named Herman.
Yes.
And how experienced is Herman within the Neptune Society, this organization?
He's pretty new to it. You know, he is quite well versed in a lot of aspects of the world, mostly from reading books, and he's ready to get out there and experience some of what he's read about for himself. But he doesn't quite he's not fully in on the whole mystical aspect of things, the other world stuff. He's yet to be sold on that, but he's ready for an adventure.
Oh, so sort of like a skeptic within the society.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's down and he's excited, but doesn't buy it yet.
Very cool. So it sounds like Franny Chump, of all people, might be the most veteran member of this group. It sounds like.
It wouldn't be me first time. But then again, I don't remember me first time at this point. Do you get it?
I get it, Franny. Thank you.
All right.
So before we jump in the adventure, I'll read a little history of the Neptune Society for those of you who are new to it. Me and some of the players included. At the Battle of Waterloo, the notorious poet, rake, and occultist Lord Bartlett encountered the extra-dimensional entity of immense power. 50 years later, the society he endowed is still traveling the globe, seeking out the dark corners of the earth. Their members are explorers, mariners, travelers, and vagabonds. They are the thin curtain that separates our world from the ancient forces that dwell just on the periphery of our vision. Stiff upper lip, chum. This is the Neptune Society. So that is the organization that you all are employed by, and our adventure tonight begins in the year 1872, and you all are in the southwest region of France. You are in a carriage that is rattling through the farm country. It is September, and in the midst of a record heat wave, it is swelteringly hot, as you all have been dispatched by the Neptune Society at great haste by a doctor in a hospital that is very concerned about some unusual patients under his care, and specifically requested the Neptune Society. And I'd almost imagine that you three maybe were not the best choices for the job, but you were the most available for the job to be dispatched quickly and on this. And I'm sure in some cases the Neptune Society can choose let's get this doctor to go to this hospital, investigate this. But I think in some situations it's whoever they have. So
sometimes you need the B team.
Yeah. Well, it's a B team situationally, not ability wise. But
I know what this is.
Yeah, as you all are rattling through this heat wave, in this brutal heat. I'd imagine it being 1872, you're all probably wearing 4 or 5 layers of clothing, despite the heat, rattling along. And if you all want, you can kind of introduce your characters and maybe a little bit about them and their profession.
Well, I'm Franny Chump. Do a bit of this, a bit of that, whatever's needed. Currently cleaning me knives. Just taking out my pocket knives, giving them a bit of a shine up. Not so much to intimidate my co-workers, but, doesn't hurt. That's me. Started from the bottom. Now I'm Chump.
Which you sell on the merch that you offer.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Hello. I am Madame Belinda Swarovski. I am world famous mystic and occultist. Perhaps you've heard of me, but perhaps you've not, because I only travel in the highest of circles. I've traveled far and wide to learn all there is to know from the ancient masters, and I also validate parking for carriages, so you don't want to pay full price.
Like a girl with a bit of a hustle.
Everybody needs a side job. Gig economy, am I right?
Hi, hello. I am. Excuse me. I'm Herman. Yes. I'm excited to be here. Excuse me. I'm comb my mustache and pull out a big comb and kind of like get it and adjust my large top hat. And I'm so excited. I've been reading many wild tales in the Parisian daily newspapers, so I thought I should find myself some adventure. I've been cooped up in my study and just been thinking and writing and teaching for so long that I feel that I'm missing out on the bit of life that is truly testing you. So here I am, and I'm. What do you think? Do you think you think we're going to do well here? Do you think this is good?
I'm just wondering if did you add extra buttons around the neck there on the shirt? It's a bit tight, it seems.
Yes, it's very fashionable now to have it. Get right against the throat there. Do you think bow ties are still fashionable? I can take it off if you don't like it.
I don't know if you actually can. It looks like it's a bit stapled on there at this point.
Oh, I've sewn it myself on, yes.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be great.
But I could cut. I have a tiny pen knife. I could cut it off if that would. Do you think I look professional?
I think you look wonderful, love.
Well, great. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, I imagine Herman is just soaked in sweat. Like from this collar down, it's like his clothing is just like a shade darker than it should be. He's just kind of like a sponge in this carriage.
Kind of wipe my hands off from so clammy.
Totally. I love it. And
hands.
Herman, how do you make a living? Do you have any side hustle?
No, I'm mostly a writer now. I don't do, I have lots of copies of my books still left, but I have a small, I've made my wealth. I invented a nice paste for binding books together. So I'm kind of free to investigate the corners of the world.
Nice.
You sure are pasty, yes.
Family money. Right, okay.
No, I made it myself. I invented a paste.
And that's enough. Okay, sure.
If I can ask, what is the recipe for this book paste?
It's mostly snails and wheat.
I love it. I
hear that's mostly what they eat around here too. France.
I would love to try some of the local delicacies. So maybe we should stop and do that after we go cure these wounded folks.
Well,
what was exactly the mission that we were doing today?
You were dispatched. A Dr. Henri Vess sent a letter to the Neptune Society, specifically requesting help with some patients exhibiting symptoms that he could not explain, and he asked for agents of peculiar expertise to be sent. And Dr. Henri Vess seems to have some sort of past relationship with the Neptune Society, and so you all were sort of dispatched immediately, and you've been rattling around in this carriage ever since, kind of like hurtling toward this hospital, which you have almost arrived at. You could feel the carriage slow, and you can hear the driver, Leo, sort of reining in the horses a bit, and the carriage rolls to a stop amidst a huge cloud of dust that kind of like washes over you that was following, kind of painting whatever parts of you that were sweaty are now covered in dust. And you hear Leo hop down, and he says, we are here. I will grab your bags. And he's like getting your bags out of the back of the carriage. And you all can see through the carriage windows, there's a small building. Most of it is made out of stone, like mortared stone, but then there's also some walls that are made of wood with windows. It's kind of a peculiar building that appears to be like a building that's built amidst the ruins of another. And it sits at the edge of a vast forest that kind of goes into the rolling hills beyond it.
A peculiar building. It seems to be built on top of another one.
And you can have the letter. You can have the letter that Dr. Vest sent to Kit Carpenter, the head of the Neptune Society, if you need it. You can each have the letter. Actually, you would all have been sent a letter to dispatch you.
Right. So this is where we can find this Dr. Henry Vest, then.
It's very peculiar, though. I have no previous medical background.
Oh, you mean
that he should?
Why he chose us is what you're asking?
Correct.
Well, I've read many medical books. I've studied psychology is all the rage now, but I don't think we will need to use that today. What do you think?
I mean, it's always a bit of it and everything, right? That's what I learned tending bar. But I would say, for myself, I'm sort of known for being a little less squeamish than some of my counterparts.
That's always useful, yes.
And as you're taking in the hospital, the front door opens, and a man in his 50s, he has sort of wispy gray hair that's kind of slicked back, and a drooping mustache emerges. He's wearing like an apron folded over, and it's kind of smudged with brown stains that look like they're probably blood stains. And when he sees you, he kind of like brightens a bit, and he kind of hurries over, and he's like, "Ah, la Société Neptune? Oui. I am Dr. Henri Vest. I was the one who sent for you.
Bonjour.
Thank you for coming so quickly. Thank you. Renaud will get your bags and bring them inside. We have a room set up for you, if that is all right.
One room for the three of us.
Oh, it's the rooms here are quite large, as you will see.
That's quite French, if you ask me.
Very stylish. I thank him in a long, elaborate French sentence that Herman can speak French, but Harlan cannot. So
cool. That's okay, because Andrew knows a 7th grade level of French, but does not know anymore. So I appreciate that level of French. Leo is going to take the carriage and head on down. There's like this roadway continues down the hill, and you can see a small village down the road, kind of shimmering in the heat. And Leo's going to take the carriage and the horses down there, where he will be staying with a friend. But he is sort of at your beck and call. He has been hired to transport you here and then transport you home as well. So
what, have we got a pager?
Well, someone will have to go and make the 30-minute walk to the village.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. I tip him.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice. I feel like in every game I watch, tipping is invented in this game. I love it. He's very grateful. He's like, oh, merci. Dr. Vest takes out a tin of tobacco and idly rolls a kind of a loose cigarette, which he lights with the match. And he's like, oh, come, I will show you inside before I show you why I have called you here.
What? Taking a cue, Madame Swarovski is a chain smoker, and so she'll just light up. And yes, please show us what has been so perplexing. Just
follow me. He brings you inside of this hospital, and despite its dim interior, it's perhaps 1 degree cooler than it's outside. It's still sweltering and muggy and oppressive. And as soon as you're inside, this sort of smell hits you of a hospital in the countryside in 1872. It smells of like astringents, and there's like a tang of sickness and of putrefaction. It's not a good smell, and flies are sort of buzzing everywhere. And as you walk in, there's sort of like an equivalent of a waiting room, and there's a large wooden desk, and there's a man who's built sort of like an ox, a very broadly built man sitting there, and he's just like tearing into his lunch. He just sort of has like a whole spread set up in front of him on a napkin, and he's just sort of like crunching it and just like eating with his hands. He has a wide jaw and kind of like an almost flattened nose. He looks like he's probably in his mid-40s. And Dr. Vest sort of idly motions him. He's like, that's Renault. He eats like a pig, but he's good with the animals. He will get your bags. If you need anything, you just can ask Renault.
Seems a bit busy.
And Renault just sort of grunts like, well, as he's like eating his sloppy lunch.
That smell carries. It's very musty in here.
Dr. Vest takes you through into the main hospital, this sort of main room. There's a lot of beds pushed up against the walls. It doesn't look nearly at capacity. It looks like there's about 25 beds in here, and there are about 12 patients in this room. And he sort of just walks through without giving them any mind. There's a nurse on the other side of the room who's caring for someone, and she looks up and sort of gives you all a smile. She looks like she's about 25. She has dark brown hair kind of pulled back in a bun. And Dr. Vest's like, these are our primary patients. The local farm workers can't seem to injure themselves fast enough, so we stay fairly busy here. And he motions to a door on the left. He's like, this is a private area for the patients that are more serious and they're convalescing. Your room's here, straight ahead. And he shows you through some double doors. And there's like another hallway here. And on the left is like a smaller version of the room you just came through with 6 beds in it. And he kind of gestures like, this is the room you can stay in if you prefer, or we can make other arrangements if you prefer. But I will show you now why I've brought you here.
Sounds good. Who knows how long we'll be staying here until we see what the cause in question is.
Oui. Come with me then. And he leads you to another door at the end of the hallway where he stops and he's like finishing up his cigarette and pinching it out. And then he basically rolls another one, just like Belinda might, just chain smoking, lights another. And he kind of readies himself and he's like, I must ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to steel yourselves. I've never seen anything like this. Just to warn you, I have no explanation for what I'm about to show you.
I've seen quite a lot of things, love. Don't worry about me.
I would love to be surprised.
Oui.
I'm intrigued.
He kind of like quickly and subtly crosses himself, and then he opens the door and ushers you all inside. And in this room, it's rectangular. There are 10 beds in the room, but only 6 of those beds are occupied, but they are not occupied with people. There are large, lumpy brown shapes in the bed, sort of mottled brown and kind of an ugly, like grayish pink. And they're all just like sagging in these beds. And one of them is actually partially up the wall and kind of encrusted onto the wall. And yes, we have some excellent art by Will Podorf.
It's so good.
I want to see what that looks like. And Dr. Vest sort of like closes his eyes and like is like pinching his temple. And I'm going to need
scream vomit.
Awesome. And I need you all to make a sanity roll for seeing this unnatural sight of whatever these are.
Oh no.
And I know Harlan is new to the game, and I'll just explain it to anyone watching. In this game, you want to roll under your number generally. So for your sanity score, they're rolling percentile dice. So they have the 1 out of 100 chance, and they're trying to roll under that. So Harlan, based on your reaction, what did you roll?
Well, sorry, I'm used to D&D, and I got a 1 on this.
Whoa.
So
That's
the
amazing.
best case
That's
scenario, right?
that's
right,
exactly what you want.
Oh man.
That's the best. Yeah, it takes a while to get used to the
Right,
the
flipping it
reversal
around.
of that. What did you get there, Franny?
82.
And what's your sanity at? I believe it's 60,
60.
correct? Okay, so Franny Chump, you are going to lose. You're going to lose 4 sanity.
Dang.
And Belinda, how about you? What did you roll?
I rolled a 34 and my sanity was 60.
Great. So you don't lose any sanity either. You and Herman are able to handle this, but Franny, as she said, scream vomits, which I guess is the appropriate reaction. And Dr. Vess narrowly kind of hops to the side and out of the way as you've just kind of like vomited all over the plaster floor here. And he's like, Renaud will clean this up.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I walk over to it fascinated and say, it looks maybe like some sort of bee or a nest of maybe a bird. I've never seen something, but definitely an infestation of some sort.
And following Herman, I'm like, yes, this is very peculiar. And I kind of put my cigarette out into the...
Is there any reaction from the thing to the cigarette?
It's hard, Belinda. It's as if you put it out on like the bark of a tree or something. And the room already smelled sort of. It had this like underlying foul tinge to it, but the smoke that comes out when you put it on there is like particularly noxious.
Yeah.
Well, that was a surprise. I thought it was going to be much squishier. But
and Dr. Vess kind of hurries over and he's like, these are the patients. There are people inside there. Please take care, please.
Oh. So
I
they have been
apologize as I light another cigarette.
Excuse me, did you say there's people inside of these things?
These are the patients that I contacted you about.
Sorry, it's a bit of the road food.
And now the room already stunk, but with Franny's fresh pub vomit in here on this in this heat, it's bad. It's just
Sorry.
It's a weird zombie flesh smoke.
Yeah, it's so smelly.
Like a match if you can.
And now it smells like burning pub vomit. No,
it gets back. When it gets back in your nose, you can get to the throat and you could taste it.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. I've worked quite a few pubs.
Through my drenched handkerchief, I'd like to be like. So maybe there's some sort of large moth or spider that has cocooned the people inside of these containers.
Dr. Vess sort of shrugs like, I like to tell you, they came from the village. They had a terrible rash all about them, and I leeched them, and I bled them where I could to try and relieve this, but no, nothing.
So maybe a mite, then. It might be a mite of some sort?
I thought perhaps some sort of rash from the hay or something in the forest, some plant, but
You've never been around hay before? Have you ever seen... So wait, so all you're saying is all this comes from down in the village. None of it has been anybody infected from being up here. They haven't infected each other, nothing like that.
Oui. All of these patients are from the village. After the rash, they became comatose, and they developed a very high fever, a fatal fever that I was unable to cool, and then pustules, perhaps the size of my thumbnail, began to grow all over them. Those pustules burst and formed this sap, one might say, and we walked in 3 days ago. We found them like this, and he sort of like gently kind of knocks on one, and it's hard.
How do
Do
you know
you
this
think
is-
is it not contagious?
I do not know.
Sounds
But
like they're getting it.
today,
Hmm?
today in 2 hours, I want to open one. If you all would observe and perhaps assist me, I must know what is happening to these patients inside.
Franny kind of goes,
And I'll turn. I'll be like, I'll hold your hair back. It's fine.
I will give you. I will give you a few hours to settle in. We 2 hours, and then I will send for you.
how long does it take to get down to that village?
30 minutes.
Seems like that's where we got to be looking, but I suppose I am a bit interested in what's inside those things.
Oh, yes. I've seen human bodies cut open before, and I've done quite some hunting in my day, so I've, skinned an animal or two, but I will be miraculous to see what is inside of one of these things.
I know nothing of the inside of human bodies outside of ritual sacrifice, but that's fine.
Oh,
Probably same thing.
well,
I mean,
to any
if you want us
specific
to light
god?
if you want us to light a candle,
Oh.
say a prayer or something, we can do that.
Yeah, probably it's fine. It just depends on what circle of belief system, but it's all very similar.
Fascinating.
Right. Well, maybe we take an hour, poke around down at the village, come back here, gotta open this thing.
Oh yeah.
I will wait for you, Dr. Bess. It says he seems he would like you there, so
I bet you would,
let's
love.
go with pushing it.
Yes, a constitutional down to the village sounds perfect. Some fresh air, he says, like through his soaked handkerchief.
Yes.
Right.
I bet the food is better than in this hospital too.
You never know. We are out in the country.
Franny says, surrounded by 360 degrees of her own barf.
I'm a bit of a foodie, you might say. Got a real palate.
Great. So, what would y'all like to do next? Head down to the village?
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah, you can walk down in the heat along this very dusty road down to this village, which Dr. Vess would have told you, or perhaps Leo would have told you, is named Puyan. And it's pretty small. It's kind of quaint as you walk up. It's just kind of a cluster of rustic homes. It looks like it's primarily like a farming community, like a little dot of civilization among all of these fields and farms. Yeah, you all reach the outskirts, and you can kind of see people going about their day.
Right. I mean, there's got to be some sort of pub or bar. That's always my go-to place to get a good temperature for a town. What do you say?
Yes, the locals, the true tough people of this world. Perfect.
Mad.
Cool. So that's what you're looking for? Some kind of pub, bar of sorts?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's one right off this main road. You find there's an iron sign which looks like half of a sun, and underneath you could see that this is a bistro named Le Coucher du Soleil, or the Sunset. And you can see there's like a little patio as well. It appears to be packed. It's full of people. You can hear the clinking of dishware and see patrons. And as you approach, there's a man kind of steadying himself around the corner of the building. He has a hand on the wall. And as you walk by, you can see that he himself has just vomited. I promise this isn't going to be a 100% vomit adventure. I didn't know Franny was going to vomit.
You say this now.
Franny during this walk confesses to both of them, like, honestly, normally it's stuff like child ghosts, a bit of a like walking toy man, things like that. It's not usually pustules. It's the first for me, I'll be honest. I had no idea.
Listen, it was quite disgusting, but I hadn't eaten yet, so probably would have been me as well.
Hard to find the hour of the day where I haven't eaten.
I've worked hard to be able to control my regurgitation instincts, so I am an iron stomach. No
Nice.
sweat.
Oh, and when we see
Herman, you seem to me a man of many talents.
I've worked hard in my life to understand myself.
when we see the bar, also I point at the sign and say, "Oh, it means the delicate goat." Did you know?
And this man, as he's like wiping his mouth, he kind of regards you all with a kind of like dazed expression, like blinking, kind of as if he's just woke. And then as you watch, he kind of just walks back into this restaurant and takes his seat where it looks like he's got a large platter of chicken that he just resumes eating. He's just going back into it. And as you look, everyone is like eating with a lot of gusto. It's like this seems to be like a very popular restaurant.
Are they eating? Is this guy eating by himself?
That guy is eating by himself, but other people are eating in pairs. And it looks, like any sort of tavern scene. It's a bit late in the day for such like a generous lunch turnout, but everyone's just eating and holding up their hand to order more, and it's clearly quite a popular spot.
And is there like a bar area, or is this clearly just like bistro?
There is a bar, and it's also full. You can see that it's kind of just packed with people, and in fact, there's even people standing at the bar also eating. They're just kind of like leaning over, gobbling up food. It seems to be packed. Like when you look in, there's even a few people like waiting to get in and kind of like tapping their foot impatiently.
I'll probably try to like weave my way in through that crowd.
Cool. Any two of you can give me a spot hidden roll if you'd like, as you're standing here taking in the scene.
Okay, I don't.
Not me.
Spot hidden. Okay, I got a 45 as mine, so I got to get lower than.
Yes.
45.
Under.
Oh, nice! I got a 19, baby.
Nice. That's so that qualifies as a hard success, not just a regular success. It's a hard success.
All successes.
Do I need to tell you about my failure, or does that just for me to internalize?
Yeah, that's just for you. You're kind of.
I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah, you two are sort of trying to push your way through this kind of sweaty crowd. It's already like oppressively hot. You're kind of being assaulted by the smell of all the food and just like the bodies all around you. But Franny, you're able to see, maybe you're sort of hanging back as you watch one of the servers on her way back toward the kitchen walks by a table laden with food, and she reaches down and just grabs a handful of this dish. It's like rice and vegetables with her free hand, and just starts like eating it, just kind of like piling it in. And the patron is like, yeah. They're like arguing and like kind of, there's kind of like a bit of arguing and yelling, and she kind of is like holding up her hands like innocently as like bits of rice and food fall from it. But you just catch this very kind of peculiar moment. And Herman and Belinda, you're able to kind of squeeze your way to the bar, but again, as if at like a crowded nightclub, all the bar real estate is kind of packed with people just eating.
Food must be delicious.
Can I get the attention of the bartender?
Yeah, he kind of like gives you a very exasperated look of like, oh, one moment, and he's kind of like just hurriedly just kind of going back and forth trying to fill these orders. But like as you wait, eventually he comes around. He's like, I'm sorry, all my tables are full.
I just want to get a drink. Whatever's the most popular drink in here.
Wine? You want wine?
Pour me a glass.
Red,
Great.
white?
Make it 3 for my friends.
Oh no, I'm okay. But you
No, we weren't ordering
I'll drink
for you.
his.
Yeah.
No, I'll drink his.
Oh, oui. He
Actually, make it 4. We'll take 4.
he brings you a bottle
even number.
actually,
Okay.
and he gives you 3 glasses.
Right.
He's like,
So
"I'm sorry, you'll have to stand and drink."
I pour out the 3 glasses, and then I take the bottle and I bang it on the bar, and I say, "Oi, hey, parlez-vous anglais?"
I translate for her very quickly. Like when she yells out, I'm like, does anyone speak English? I say in fluent French.
That's the only thing I do know. It's fine.
Like you would expect, the noise is loud when you bang that wine bottle down on the wooden bar. All of the silverware clatters. You can hear the plates kind of bounce. It's like a loud. You're Franny Chump, former barmaid. You know how to get a crowded bar's attention. That's clearly one of your innate skills. And this is like a loud, commanding sound. And like none of the patrons next to you so much as wince or pay you any mind. They're just gobbling. They're just kind of gobbling this food and kind of, they might like look at you a bit askance, but they don't.
The rest of this bottle is for anybody who parlez-vous anglais.
I'm incredibly amused and liking Franny by the minute and just looking at everybody's, I'm gauging the reaction of the crowd.
The crowd just seems intent on their food. They seem like ravenously hungry. It's like seeing people who haven't eaten in kind of a long amount of time when they're finally getting a meal, and they're just eating too fast. It's a sort of eating that's like, you're going to get a stomach ache at best out of this.
Blimey, I feel like I've been out on a date with at least every one of these people.
Well, here's my plan. What I'm wanting to do. They're very distracted in their meal, and I'm sure somebody might be able to talk to us as they're less hangry. But in the meantime, I kind of want to pickpocket somebody just to try to get some personal information for some use at a dramatically appropriate time.
Perfect. I love it.
Do you need a distraction? She says, hitching up her skirt as though to dance.
I mean, I feel like they're pretty preoccupied with their meals, but go nuts.
No, fair enough. I'll save it.
Yeah, did you have a target in mind, Belinda?
It would be hard to do a sleight of hand with a bartender because they're behind the bar. But if there's anybody who looks like they reacted with that, do you understand English? Even for a split second, I'll go for that person.
So someone who looks like they might understand English?
Yeah, somebody who we might have a conversation with that kind of reacted, but they were too. If there's anybody who looks like they might be, I don't know, continental enough to speak many languages.
It looks like this bar is pretty much locals.
And if not, the guy next to me, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just like a kind of looking it over. It looks like these are probably locals. They're dressed pretty rustically. Doesn't seem to be anyone that particularly sticks out. The server, that woman that walked by, she keeps walking by. She could be a target for you if you want, and she would probably speak multiple language, just maybe perhaps through her job, or you could pickpocket. There's a heavy set man directly to you. You're sort of like wedged between as you're having this wine.
If I can get to the server, because they might have seen things here and there, and then I wasn't there to witness the weird occurrence, but they might be a person that has heard rumors, seen things.
Yeah, so, I love it.
So that person, I will.
So what would you like to roll for the pickpocket? Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand, yeah. Great. Sleight of hand would work.
And I will give you a bonus die for sure. So that means that you get to roll the 10s twice, improving your chances.
I rolled an 11, so I'm not needed. So which is not a the most like critical success because I needed an 8, but it's definitely a hard
Definitely a hard success. Great. So yeah, you expertly pickpocket this guy, but you almost feel like your effort is like, or no, the server. I'm sorry, you wanted to pickpocket the server. She's coming and going. You expertly pickpocket her, but you almost feel like you didn't even need to be so like perfect about it because she's just like single-minded, coming and going. And what you take out of her back pocket is a medallion. It's a very faded and weathered medallion, and it has just kind of the faintest image of a man's face on it. And it does not look like a coin. It looks like it was a kind of a crudely stamped medallion.
Is there any other personal information that I can gather from her at this point?
That's all she has. She doesn't have like an ID or anything.
I would like to approach her after she's come back from a table and say, if you can just give me a moment of your time. I'm not sure if you've ever met a mystic, but if I can tell you something about yourself, will you give me a moment of your time?
I'm nudging Herman and going, it's what they call a cold reading, I believe.
Street magic. Flirting with the right line of immorality, but I am fascinated.
Have you unbuttoned your shirt then, Herman? No.
It is a bit hot in here. I just snipped the sewing of the bow tie. So to let my chest breathe.
All right, calm down.
Just excuse me.
She's quite busy, and she's like her eyes almost are like looking past you, like she's like beyond harried at her job. It's and she just has a very single-mindedness about her. Can you give me a fast talk roll for this to see if you can?
Okay.
Because you're kind of asking her for this party trick in the middle of like the most hellish shit on Earth.
I rolled a 34, which is not quite a hard success, but I had to get under 60.
Awesome. Okay, great. Yeah, she kind of stops and blinks a few times, and she's like, "We."
I take out.
What would you tell me about myself? This is awesome, by the way.
I have been brought here specifically to meet you because I have a very, very important message. And there are stars aligned between you and me. So if I tell you something true about you, you must tell me something. Are we agreed?
She kind of like looks around at the patrons are kind of waving for orders and stuff. But it's almost impatient. She's like, "We."
I grab Herman by the back of his collar as he's like leaning in, also being bewitched by this. Is that okay?
Yes, I see it now. I see the face of a man who is important to you, but perhaps you have not met. But the visage I see in metal, is this true?
She kind of like blinks again and as if like an idea has dawned on her, and she's like, "Oh, we are." Yes, and she kind of like pats her pocket, and she's like,
if this is true by the mere mention, what you are looking for is now gone."
And she seems like increasingly distraught as she's like patting her pocket. She's like, "Oui, Saint Etienne, my medallion." And she's like concerned and kind of like fascinated with this whole endeavor.
Yes, I see it now. The medallion. Now, do you believe?
Yes, but I need to find my medallion. It was my father's and his father's before him.
If I can produce this medallion you speak of, will you tell me the significance of it?
Elbowing Herman real hard over here.
How did she? How does she know? How did she?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
She's like nodding eagerly, like we.
But first, who is this man in this medallion? You must tell me first, because I am so curious.
Saint Etienne, the hero of
And I kind of,
Montaigne
like,
Abbey.
Wink back, take notes.
The hero of Montaigne Abbey, the hero of here, Pouillon's hero.
Oh.
Can I roll to know about this? I feel
You can give me a history roll if you'd like.
Great, thank you. All right, that is a 22. Not quite the best I can get, but it's the second.
Awesome.
Second.
Very cool. Yeah, y'all rolling hot tonight. I love it. You
also order some frites from the bartender just when you're there.
I love that you each have your skill and that you're using them in this scene.
It's all around.
Hey, you have an empty stomach.
I love it.
She's dehydrated. She needs the sodium.
Yeah, the wine didn't help with that, I'll tell you.
As this woman is telling Belinda about Saint Etienne, the hero of Montaigne Abbey, it kind of clicks in your brain, Herman. You have heard of the story of a monk. As you've heard it, this monk went mad and burned down his abbey, killing all the other monks inside. That's not the story that this woman is telling you, Belinda. She's telling you of Saint Etienne, the hero of Pouillon, the hero of Montaigne Abbey, who tried to save all of his brothers from a fire, and he's believed he's like sort of the patron saint of this village. And the coin is more than just luck to her. She believes that Saint Etienne's very gaze wards off evil.
So this is a protection ward, is it not?
She sort of nods. She's like, you can produce this?
Yes, but you must tell me, what is it that you seek protection from?
The Saint Etienne is a protector against all evil. As she's talking to you, a person at the table next to you gets up to leave, and there's like a half-finished plate of mussels there on their plate. And despite the server's interest in the medallion and getting it back, she just turns and she starts like picking up the mussels and like sucking them from their shells, and like eating with her hands. And she sort of like looks at you while you're talking to her. Yeah, oui.
I mean, it's always a good sign when the elf actually eats the food.
I mean, that is true, yes. But what is it? Is it anything specific that you seek protection from?
You know, she's just got this like shellfish juice all over her hands. It's like, no, it's just the devil, the evil, sin.
All right. You must close your eyes and think of this medallion. I wanted you to think of it so thoroughly in your mind that you could almost see it, but no peeking. But you can almost see it. You have to keep your eyes very shut tight.
Herman closes his eyes.
Franny slaps him on the back.
And while her eyes are closed, I will bring the medallion out and place it.
And she's still like trying to eat with her eyes closed and sort of like just like gobbling at this food. And where did you put the medallion? I'm sorry.
I put it on the table because I didn't want her to see it in my hands.
Cool. And,
Or eat it.
Or eat it.
Yeah. And there's like this clink of the metal on the wooden table, and she opens her eyes and sees it. She's like, and she's like still eating, and she almost idly picks it up and puts it back in her pocket.
So do you believe now?
She like has finished the mussels, and she's like, "Oui, merci. Thank you for returning that. I must go. And the people are like, ooh, and like angrily trying to get her attention.
But in French, really.
This time my services are offered to you for free. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Now,
she kind of hurries off.
Get for that sort of thing, because that was good. You had this one going crazy.
I have a gift.
How did you know? Wild.
Are you serious? Ermin, you saw what she... I'm sorry about him.
I am very skilled in the magical arts across all the lands.
Oh, she stole it.
From Siberia to Ibiza.
Well,
I love it. Franny, the barkeep delivers your frites.
I'm just absentmindedly eating them.
Madame.
These are not that good, I'll be honest.
And they're not. They are below average.
He's kind of expected, everyone seems crazy about the food in here.
And that's weird.
They have they believe in these tales and seem to have low moral fiber as they are, and cannot resist their urges to dive into the pleasures of the world.
Right. That sounds like something a Catholic would say.
Oh no, I'm more well read than that.
Whatever she wanted that protection medallion from is not really protecting her from much. Do you see how weird she's acting?
Yes, she didn't even notice that you stole the medallion. I did. I did.
Oh, Hammond.
The barkeep has like an idle moment, and he kind of wipes his hands on his apron and catches his breath, and perhaps sensing a kindred spirit in the service industry, Franny, he comes over and he's like, "You are visiting Puyon? You three visit."
Just passing through a bit. You seem quite in the weeds here.
Oh, I've never been busier.
What's going on? Has everyone been fasting for something?
No, not that I know. But I'm happy for the business.
Have you noticed anything strange though? It seems odd to me on the face.
Oh, the appetites are large. People who they tell me that I have no francs to spend at your restaurant. Now they're here. Now they will order everything on the menu.
You own this place. You said it's your restaurant.
Oui. I'm Hugo, and he shakes your hand.
Bonjour. We've been at the what is it? A hospital sanitarium up there on the hill.
Oui. The hospital of Montaigne Abbey?
Oui. And there's quite a few strange cases up there that came from down in here. And we came down here and everybody's eating all strange. Just wondering, has there been any food poisoning or anything like that?
He seems taken aback at the mention of food poisoning, as if this is possibly an affront to him. It's like,
no, obviously someplace else, not from yours. No, obviously.
No, not that I have heard. I know some people left the village. They went away, and there were some people who got sick. Christian, one of the hunters here in the village, became very sick, as did
his wife. I know that they were taken to the hospital.
Do you remember who the first person to get sick was?
Christian. Christian was
The hunter.
very sick.
What kind of hunting does he do?
Oh, elk, deer, sometimes wild boar. The woods are full of animals.
Right. And I notice you're not eating like crazy. But your staff is, and everyone else in here is. But you're full?
I already had my lunch.
Strange. But it's a lovely establishment. Gotta say, I wish I had this kind of brand loyalty for any of the places I worked. Yeah, there.
Merci. Well, if you would like anything, hopefully we'll have food for the dinner service.
Well, keep it in mind. I mean, we did see one of your patrons ridding himself of one meal to come back for another outside. Quite an advertisement, that is.
He seems a little concerned about that. He's like,
I'll get help.
Again? You just saw that?
Wait, why? Has that been happening?
A few times today. We've had people take ill, but they seem all right. They come back. They keep eating. They finish their meals.
You threw up earlier, Franny, and you look great.
I did no such thing. It never happened. It's certainly, if it did happen, it would be under other circumstances. It would be as a result of saying something disgusting. Whereas here it was, fella having a good time. That's him over there, right? Is he still in here? Is he still here?
he's sitting there. He's currently tearing into a quiche, and a healthy wedge of quiche, and it looks like he's already polished off one wedge, and he's working on this one.
How long did you say this has been? This business has been swinging like this?
All week it has been better and better. Today is the best day.
You got a lot of repeat business, though, or are people disappearing?
Most people that come here every day. But like I said, some people have left the town. People have been looking for their friends. They cannot find them. And I know that Christian and his wife and his friends were taken to the hospital.
Well, I have to say, as odd as this seems to me, and it does seem so odd. What's your name again?
Hugo.
Hugo. It seems so odd, Hugo. These chips are some of the best I've ever had. So
Cool. Give me a fast talk for lying to the proprietor of this establishment.
Okay. I got oops. I got a 71.
And what is your fast talk?
Well, despite being a barmaid, Jared Logan, I don't have fast talk as a skill. So
that is surprising, and that's true. You
nice skills.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to Call of Cthulhu, I guess being handy with knives is probably better than being able to lie about the quality of French fries.
No, cooking. He gave me cooking skills.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Cook.
I
can't fast talk, so I definitely failed that.
He doesn't. He seems like. I mean, the compliment of his food is the jam-packed restaurant of people eating. So even if your compliment's a bit flat and you've barely picked at the plate of frites, he doesn't seem to necessarily clock it. What was that, Herman?
I think Herman wants. I want to see if this dude is lying or not in a way where I imagine this is like. He loves reading about psychology. It's like a new cool thing. And he's trying to like use these tricks he's learned to look for any tells of sorts to see if this bartender he seems really chill with something that is, I don't think it's like metagaming to say seems off-putting to us out-of-towners. So I just want to try and like gauge that if he's just like hyped about this and just ignoring it, or if he's actively trying to hide something.
Yeah, that's why I lied to him. He lied to me.
I think that would be. I'm trying to think of the best role for that.
I'm gunning for psychology, but if you think that's not fair, that's
no.
fair.
I love it when a player can make a case for something. So
Yeah.
you're looking for psychological tells.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a psychology roll.
Cool.
And I'll let it apply to this whole situation. In fact,
I got a 20, which is what are the 3 levels of success?
A hard and I think it's extreme, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I got a hard success.
Great. Yeah, you guys are just crushing it. I don't think I've ever seen this many hard successes.
I just failed super hard.
Yeah, you didn't even get to roll, but it was lying about freaks, so it doesn't matter. So Herman, as you've been observing all this, you were kind of privy to this conversation that just happened, and you've been spending time in this restaurant. It seems like Hugo, the owner, is being honest about he's happy for this business. He's a bit perplexed by it, but he isn't going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Not when he can put it on the menu, right? Hey, French cuisine. But he's not necessarily concerned about that. And then from a psychological standpoint, you can clearly tell that the majority of the patrons in here are clearly displaying signs of an obsession and a mania about this food, that they are eating like people who seem like they had been half starved. And you now know that is not the case. These are just patrons of the restaurant. And so you can kind of fit that together.
And I'll just say quickly as an aside to Herman and to Franny, maybe he knows something about this guy in the medallion.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, one last thing. Hugo. Are you there?
We.
All right. I want you to give me this chip recipe, but I know you're not going to. It's too good. So, since you won't, can you give me any info about the Saint Etienne?
Oh, he seems a little disappointed to talk about this instead.
We Saint Etienne. He
is kind of like searching for the legend.
He's the hero of Montaigne Abbey, where the hospital is now.
I say to him in French, but that is not the story. That is the story you all tell yourselves to make yourselves feel better, but that is not the story I know of them.
He's kind of, again, taken aback, like,
This is,
no?
my friend's son, Nerman.
I'm going to have to introduce some consequences to this lying that you don't have the skill to do.
I clearly do! You have no consequence! I'm just, like, explaining why I'm like, okay, I gotta put up with him. I know it's crazy, but answer him. You know, that's what I'm trying to kind of put across there.
Yeah, it seems like Hugo didn't really wasn't that familiar with the legend, but as soon as you challenge it, Herman, he kind of bristles at that, and he's like, no, Saint Etienne, the hero of Montaigne Abbey, it is well known.
Yeah, but he burned down the church.
No, he rescued his brothers from a fire.
His real brothers, or is it, Jesus brothers?
We monks, brothers.
Okay.
Those brothers.
Oui.
Then why do I know? Then why do I know the story this way? Why is it recorded in this way that I have heard it that he went mad himself and burned the church down?
I'm going to at this point, like aside, just nudge Franny and be like, Herman said that the hospital was built on another building. The other building was the abbey.
And my mouth is full of chips, so I'm just like,
I'm also
you're
chips. We're both just like, oh my God, tell me more.
Not so shitty anymore, are they?
Hey, after a bottle of wine,
bottle of wine and an empty stomach. Come on,
go on.
he kind of shrugs at that, Herman, and he's like,
Oh, the story is old. This has all happened over 300 years ago.
Well, it is disturbing to me, this meddling of facts.
I'll just say, what is this Saint Etienne? What is he the patron saint of? Because I know that there's patron saints of everything.
He is the I don't recall exactly. You might want to ask the priest the way, but we is the patron saint of Puyon. That's how we call him.
Are you telling
but
us?
like there's always like the region, yes, but like there's always like the patron saint of this, the patron saint of that, the patron saint of like agony, the patron saint of like education. They're literally everything.
he's kind of like thinking about this, and this is like a point that he has not considered, and he's kind of thinking, and he's like,
I do not know. I don't know. It's the patron saint of Puyon, we call him. I guess I do not know the story as well as I thought.
Ha, I see.
It's fine. It's fair.
Right.
And I'm just like looking to the others like,
And Herman, I will say that since you did pass that history check about it, you feel confident in your information. I would say that you came by your information, not in like in a mainstream way, but maybe perhaps in the vast library of the Neptune Society. I hope they have a vast library, Jared. I'm sorry if I'm creating vast libraries where they're not supposed to
There
be.
is a vast library.
Great, thank God. I can picture Herman spending a lot of time in these rich libraries, and you came by your knowledge from what you would consider a reputable but little-known source.
I'm glad that you said that because Herman was gonna think that either way, so I'm glad that it's confirmed. That
Okay, great.
Yeah. he's not just making it up. So,
Do you think maybe we should get back up to the hospital, abbey, whatever?
yeah, it's probably time.
the sun is moving. Let's go.
Can we get? Do you know how to get in touch with Leo to get a ride back, or should we just walk back?
Oh, we should disturb Leo. He's done such hard work so far. We can go ourselves, I believe.
We all speak
Fine.
English, Sherman. You can just say walk.
Sorry, I'm a bit kerfuffled because of this scenario.
Yeah, you seem quite
Wait,
worked up.
what is kerfuffled?
It's a old term.
Brouhaha. He's a bit brouhaha.
Bruja.
Hmm.
I don't know that. Okay, it's fine. We could
It's
walk
Latin.
if you
Latin.
insist. Fine.
So we leave pointing at the chips, being like, absolutely, the best. Sorry about him. So good. Bye.
As you're all leaving, Herman, you see there's a couple eating. They're kind of sitting at a two-top up against the wall, and this woman is like eating her soup, and she's like holding the bowl in one hand and eating it, and then she like lifts it to her mouth and she's drinking the soup, and she happens to turn her head and look at you as she's drinking it, and she sort of like locks eye contact with you. And I want you to give me a Constitution roll.
Oh,
And that's
boy.
one of your stats at the top of your sheet.
Oh,
As you
boy.
feel, she locks eye contact with you, you feel almost like a bit woozy on your feet, as if something is pulling at you.
33, and my Constitution is 57, so just a straight up success.
Great. As you feel this drawing to you, and you feel a kind of a growl in your stomach, even though you just had the opportunity to eat, and I assume you weren't particularly hungry. You kind of feel this rippling growl for your stomach, but you're able to sort of like shake this off, and this woman resumes drinking her soup out of the bowl as some pours out of the corner down her chin.
Can I do an occult roll back to see if like I felt any? I mean, Herman's a skeptic, but he's still very familiar with kind of the lore around different traditions and such. Can I do an occult roll back to see if this
100%.
Okay, cool. Oh boy, I got an 8.
Whoa! And what is your what is your extreme success?
Extreme is
5, right?
Is 5, yeah. So it's
still wow.
Yes.
Oh, you can use some luck points if you want to make that a.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have luck in this game.
Extreme it up.
That you could spend up to 10 luck points in a turn, and if you get that extreme roll, you get to check the skill and possibly improve it. So if you want to like become a little better at occult, you can cash in a little luck.
I was reading about this
could
game, and I
save
know
you from being killed later in the game. It's up to you. I think that Belinda's advice is not bad. That it would not take a lot of luck to nudge that.
This isn't like a lifelong mission. Come on.
Or wait, how much luck do you have, Herman?
10.
Oh, that's a terrible amount of starting luck. Don't waste it improving the skill.
You started out with 10 luck? Jared, what's wrong with you?
Can we give him luck?
I didn't make these character sheets. I love it.
To be fair, to be fair, when he gets it on our stream, I ate his character with an ooze, so this is totally fair in my book.
That's why it checks out now. It checks out.
Well, good thing you've got these hot rolls.
I kiss my hand and I place it on Herman's head and say, "Good luck to you, my child."
You know what? I think I'm still gonna do it because it fits so well with the narrative of Herman, where he came here a skeptic and he just had this experience, is thrown off by everything he knows, and then gazed in it, and it had this moment. And so he absolutely is, even if it's a negative consequence, this is a moment that is like shaking him, and he's getting information from it, especially if it's going to change it. So yeah, I'll do it. I went from an 8 to I need a 5, so I have to spend 3 luck, right?
So you can go ahead and check that.
Okay, cool.
I love it.
And we can possibly improve that during some downtime later in the game. But for now, it's checked.
And my luck goes down to 7.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So
buying the dip, man. Buying the dip.
Okay.
But you did get that success, and a hard success at that. Or no, you got an extreme success at that. So yeah, despite your superstitious nature and whatever, you're probably thinking like, oh, there's a psychological explanation for everything that I've seen here. This can be explained by this. This can be explained by this. And then this woman's errant gaze just like shakes you, because there was something behind it that it didn't even seem she was consciously communicating to you, but it was like a vast power behind her eyes as she was enjoying that soup that you just felt pulling you, and it took a strong effort on your part to resist that, and you felt this immense hollow hunger inside yourself that was not there seconds ago and is not currently there, but some power behind her eyes was pulling at you in a way that none of your psychology or time immersed in books had readied you for.
I look at them both and I say, I've felt their hollow hunger. Just like sweatier than before, like sweatier than when I was trapped in the cart, and I look pale and just.
And I say, just go tell her your name. I'm sure she'll like you too.
No, there is something deeply wrong here. This is the failure of humanity.
I don't know. Maybe you should just ask her out to dinner. I'm sure she'll be okay with it.
She does seem hungry.
I am too old and too studied to be looking for a relationship at this point in my life. I'm
Who
trying
said
to tell
anything
you
about the relationship?
We're just in town for the night, you know.
No, this horror is greater than a horror of love.
Fine.
If you
That's
insist.
all right. Let's go back and see him cut open one of these cocooned people then.
I wish this game had inspiration so I could give Belinda inspiration for these props, because they are
So good.
top notch. I love it.
Yeah, Franny grabs a caramel apple off a nearby table.
Yeah.
Which is
Point.
weird that they are offering the caramel apples, but
They're in season.
they're
These
hard
are
as
my
a rock.
props.
We
They're
made
very
them.
hard.
They might as well be made out of solid plastic. They are.
Yeah, it turns out they're a prop. They're decoration. She hurries out.
They are difficult to eat, to say the least. Cool. So y'all are heading back up to the hospital. As it's getting late in the afternoon, you make your way up the road toward the hospital, and the nurse you saw before is sitting outside on like a rock ledge that kind of juts out from the wall, and she's smoking a cigarette. And when you all walk up, she gets up and she smiles. She's like, "Bonjour, bonjour."
Bonjour.
You went to town?
Oui.
Oui. Je m'appelle Gabriel.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Franny. Où est la bibliothèque?
There's a library? There's a library?
I'm trying to fit in, you know? Play
He's
it
like,
cool.
I speak some English. Sorry, we can
Thank
speak
God.
English.
My French is so rusty. You probably didn't even understand what I was trying to say. It seems a bit intense in there, right?
Oh, oui. Dr. Vess is ready for you if you are ready.
What is your what's your name?
Gabriel?
Oh right, je m'appelle Gabriel. How's this happened? All these people and these weird cocoons, they came in here like that, or they changed once they were here? What is it?
She kind of looks like she doesn't want to speak out of turn, like to be asked.
It's okay, you can tell us.
Yeah.
Wait, these people came from the village. They had a rash. Dr. Vess tried to treat them, but the rash grew worse. It became sores all over them. Then those sores, they burst, and they were covered in this terrible fluid that we tried to clean off of them, but it just
I'm familiar.
Then in the morning we came in, and there they were encrusted.
Ugh, again, very familiar. But
Also, very, very, just very graphic. Do you know anything about was there any strange history that you remember or have heard about? Not remember, but have heard about the history of this abbey that existed before this hospital was built?
we're a bit of history buffs.
I've only been here about 8 months, but
Well, like a
people
legend.
tell stories.
Yeah.
Let's see how much Gabriel remembers.
Right.
Yes, she kind of gestures to the odd construction of the hospital, where the rock and the wood and plaster walls kind of meet. She's like, there was a terrible fire, I believe, long ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 300 years ago. There was a fire here, and then, but never rebuilt till they built this place.
And how long ago?
80 years ago, this hospital was built.
And here's what I'm wondering, and maybe and you even know this. What does Pouillon even mean?
Pouillon, the village. I don't know. It's the name of the village.
Yeah, I know that, but what was it named for? What's that mean? My French is a bit rusty. I mix it up with a bit of my Italian. Como se dice?
She shrugs like it's a name. Gabriel, the name of a town.
Seems like it might mean something. Did you know any of these who came in here and got all sick? Do you know any of them before?
We, Christian,
The hunter.
the hunter. We,
Right, we've heard tell of him.
yes, he was very good, very successful. A bit of a, how do you say, a show off,
Oh yeah?
you could say. We,
Did he seem different when he came in here from what you knew of him?
we, very hungry. He only seemed to want to do is eat, and he had this miserable rash that he was scratching, and then he just stayed in bed, scratching and eating, and then once he became feverish, he stopped eating. He had just sores. And
Right. Oh, okay. That's lovely. That's lovely. And I pulled the Nora and Belinda and Herman aside, and I'm like, right, okay, so these people have some sort of eating sickness, and there's a whole place full of them down there, and they're going to turn into these weird bug vials, and we got to get out of here. Screw this. Screw the Neptune Society. Let's go. Bye-bye. Come on.
Are we gonna get that weird thing because we ate those fries, those frites?
I don't know. Not willing to chance it. It seems way too weird for me. No, thank you. Let's go.
I advise you both to throw up again.
What?
I will look at something like give me something terrible to think about, and I will do my best.
Well, we're about to go cut open and dissect.
We are.
these things,
I'll
so I
wait.
can
Yeah,
go
I'll
through the
wait.
process.
I'll wait till we get there. No, you're right. I'll wait.
How about this? 1%
so how long?
of the. Oh, no, okay.
How long ago did all of this? I mean, this hospital has been built for 80 years now. When did this exactly start happening? When did people start noticing this?
you're speaking of the rashes,
The
all of this
rash,
stuff,
the
yeah.
sores, the wooden cocoons, all of it.
Christian was brought here 6 days ago, I think.
This has only been 6 days.
Since he was brought here.
This is when I throw up because I'm like, oh, this is very, very recent.
She kind of kind of taps her forehead. She's like, he was eating, but I did hear him say he found something in the forest. He kept saying that he found something in the forest.
Do you
Found
remember
what?
what he said he found?
I
I bet you do. You seem like the kind of girl who remembers everything.
We
huh?
also a bone. He said he found a bone. I feel there are bones in the forest from animals that maybe he found.
A bone?
Maybe. I mean, did he come straight here? Did he come with all his belongings? Was he brought by somebody else?
No, he came wrapped in a blanket with his wife, Charlotte. She is also inside.
Oh, great.
Well,
Did they bring the bone with them by any chance?
no, they brought nothing. They seem
So-
miserable.
Right, yeah, me too.
Huh. Okay.
I think it's
All right.
a parasite. I think it's what it is. It sounds like
Possibly.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's see if his maybe his wife is not so far along in her chrysalis stage. What I don't know what it's called when they're wrapped up in the. I don't know. Maybe if she could still talk, we could ask her some questions.
Gabrielle
Sounds good
kind
to
of
me.
looks a little stricken, and she's like, "No, Madame, Charlotte is who Dr. Vess is about to open."
Oh,
And this is the first time you've opened
Okay.
anyone.
Dr. Vess, he does not want to wait anymore. He's worried for them.
oh, wait!
inside.
He's opening her up. Maybe we'll find the bone.
Right, and where will we be watching this opening from?
The surgical suite. Here, I'll show you. Dr. Vess is
behind
ready.
some glass, like, we're watching a fine show, like something exciting we might see in the city, like someone's bones being sawed off.
Right, or are we right there?
Yeah.
Oui,
Are we on?
oui. She points to Belinda. Oui. Yes, you.
Yeah.
There's no glass.
I have some experience with medical practices. I can, unofficially, but I could get in there and help for sure.
There is a parasol in my gears in possession. I'm going to take that out just as a splash guard.
I love it.
Don't have one prepared for my prop bags, but
If,
it is there in spirit.
And I have meat pies for sale, so I'm taking one of those out.
Nice. You brought
Because you keep
you've
vomiting.
already provided a ringing endorsement for whatever foodstuffs that you brought.
Okay, scratch that. I also have a flask of Scotch whiskey. I'm taking that out and taking a swig of that.
That's appropriate.
Thank
Do you really have meat pies on your inventory sheet?
Yes!
I love it.
I love that.
Pretty amazing.
They're parentheses for sale, though, so I really shouldn't be eating them myself.
Right.
Don't get high on your own supply, but
I'm sure they've traveled well through this heat wave in a carriage. Franny's fermented meat pies. If you didn't have any more questions for Gabrielle, she will show you to the surgery suite.
Yeah, I would like to stop by my things that we set down in the room and just get my 22 rifle and just prop it in the corner. Like as we're heading into the surgery suite, because Herman has been rattled a bit, and he's just like gonna bring that with him and just prop it in the corner.
Cool. And I will say that your beds have curtains that can divide them. It's not like a totally open room, so you do have a bit of privacy to speak. But yeah, you want to go in there and we'll consider your rifle ready to go and leaning up against the wall.
I go in mine and sing a sea shanty just to center myself.
Can we have a taste?
I
hate it when DMs put me on the spot.
I do this to Andrew in our game all of the time. So
"'Tis a wild day on the sea today, and I am out to sea. 'Tis a wild day for everyone, but especially for me."
hey,
I only ask because Eliza is the queen of musical improv. So
yeah, mostly making up songs to sing to the dogs.
yeah, a lot of songs about pooping usually, but I like that sea shanty. Cool. So you are singing a sea shanty to perhaps steel yourself as maybe Herman. You've got the soundtrack as you're examining your rifle. And Belinda, would you like to do anything? You did retrieve your parasol. Anything else?
yeah, I'm just looking through my costume trunk of stuff. Just anything I could have on hand for if I need to mystically retrieve some information from anybody else, I will have those on hand. They're small trinkets. They could fit in pockets.
I'm imagining you trying on different goth tiaras and like spring-loaded things that go up your sleeve to like...
Definitely the goth tiaras. Lots of them. 5 or 6. I can't decide which one goes with my mood. And I do have tarot cards.
See?
Nice. There we go.
Bring them right out.
At least the third prop. Amazing.
Yes.
I do have a 22 rifle. Just
yeah.
Jesus.
Harlan.
Why? Is this about the squirrel that lives on your roof?
And I have a disgusting cocoon the size of a human being. All right.
And this is where we all provide real vomit.
Yeah. Perfect. We've got it all. We've got everything we need. Cool. So you all are you ready to go in with Dr. Vess?
Ready?
Yeah, you walk in a kind of a small, cramped room. There is a rectangular wooden table on it, upon which one of these cocoons has been placed. And Dr. Vess is leaning against the wall, smoking a cigarette. And there's an assortment of almost crude-looking tools laid out. They're the tools that you might have expected, like a scalpel and some forceps, like a spreader, things of that nature. There's also
spreader.
Yeah, rib spreader. Did you think butter?
An egg beater.
An egg beater.
One of those claw machines.
Yep, he's got.
Yeah, but it's made of cast iron because let's be chronologically correct.
Sure, yeah, I'm not trying to be silly.
But there's a bone saw. There's like a rock hammer and a chisel as well. There's all these things kind of laid out. And as you walk in, Dr. Vess gets up and stubs out a cigarette, and he's like, bon. You are ready to assist me in opening this?
Lighting up another cigarette. Yes.
He's like, this is Charlotte, Christian's wife. They came in at the same time.
Inside this cocoon, she is.
Yes, hopefully we will find her unharmed. And he crosses himself again. And he starts with a scalpel. He's like kind of like working the scalpel in there, and it's like it makes like lines and like scratches in this cocoon, but it's like clearly not getting the job done. And he kind of like knocks on it again, and he's like, this is very tough, very tough. He takes the rock hammer and the chisel, and he starts like kink, 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 tink, 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 almost like perforating it all along the topmost edge of it as he's kind of like working around. You can hear it like cracking and like chunks and flakes of this like hard scabrous material are flaking off. Scabrous, yes.
Is that having the qualities of a scab?
Yes, indeed. If it's too gross, you could say fade to black, and we'll fade to black.
Oh no! I'm very into body horror. I'm just appreciating it with.
I should have said that at the start of the game. He's he's kind of like hammering out this edge, and you can hear this kind of like deep crunching and cracking as he's making progress. And he's like, "All right, I think maybe I've softened it up." And let's try and he pulls up a pry bar and he's like, Monsieur Wellspring, if you would help me. And he kind of like wedges the pry bar in, and he kind of like wants you to help him like pull on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I take a step back, and I'm just
and I say, man, you know, if you get into it, it's because he loosened it first. Don't take all the credit.
That's true.
It's just my moral duty, he says as he steps up. I think that this is kind of like Herman is excited about this because it feels like something practical he can do, and he's kind of like mentally shaken. So he's like, "Yeah, give me a chance to just get in there."
You're doing great, buddy.
Cool. Give me a strength roll.
Oh boy.
As Dr. Vess is not necessarily that strong.
Oh, me neither. I failed. I had a 53 and my strength is 47.
He looks over at Franny and kind of realizes that maybe he chose the wrong person for this job in the first
sleeves
place.
Up. She comes over, elbows them both out, and grabs it herself.
Cool. Give me your strength roll.
All right. Oh, I got a 56, and my strength is 68.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
Franny, you made this kind of motion. Were you putting your hands in the crack of the cocoon, or were you using the pry bar?
I thought that I was using I was thinking the pry bar was like this kind of thing, but if it means...
I'm going to give you the choice. Pry bar is like a crowbar that was in it. That was
okay. I'm going to use the crowbar. If it's important for me to choose, I'm going to keep my fingers out of it.
I thought you were going bare hands.
No,
that's why I had to ask, because I love the image, and I was like, "Hey, that's how you want to open this thing? I want you to."
All right, okay. I grab it on one side, and then I use my foot on the other side. Yank it open.
Yeah, Franny just you see like the veins stand out on her neck as she pulls this thing, and there's like this sickening crack and then a crunch as the whole front section of this cocoon cracks away, and like a gout of this yellowish fluid just comes flowing out all over the table, runs down onto the floor as the front half of this cocoon
that Franny has pulled away is released. And inside is what was perhaps once a woman curled up. The whole front of her face is mostly gone. Her eyes are too small. They almost look like dried cherries, too little, like reddish black.
Not even marbles?
Like nubs, and they're kind of like moving around kind of erratically, and you could just kind of see the inner workings of her face. Yes.
Yes, bitch.
Well, you did it. You did it. And
Franny crawls on top of it to get away from the oozy stuff, and runs away, going, "Not it, not it, not it, not it."
Well, Potterf, you have outdone yourself. Yeah, it looks
that
like
used to
this.
do church bake sales.
And a lot of the flesh around the face is kind of translucent. It's just like these gobbets of flesh, sort of, that look like soft. And the body, the skin on the body looks incredibly like raw and irritated. It's sort of this like bright reddish color. And as it's like thrashing around, like more gouts of that yellow fluid come out of like the hole where there used to be a mouth, and you hear this like horrible keening kind of scream, kind of like. Thank you, Clint.
I think she wasn't done cooking yet.
I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot it. Like Herman, when he stepped away and he saw this, like Herman is gonna shoot this thing for sure.
All of you, please give me a sanity roll for witnessing this hideous partial transformation.
Don't shoot any weird bones, though.
My entire character has been based on having pretty good sanity rolls until this game. So,
remind me, Secret GM, is SIC on the character sheet my sanity?
Oh, shit.
No, eyes.
No, it's
okay.
I have your sanity right here. It's this kind of lengthy table right there.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Well, it says sanity on there. I should have read it. I succeeded. I got a 37 and my sanity is 40.
Nice.
So my sanity after that last 4 you took from me is 56, and I just rolled a 57.
Oh my god. Herman, you lose 1 sanity despite the success. Franny, you are going to lose. Oh no, Franny, you're going to lose 7 sanity, and we'll come back to you in a moment. And Belinda,
I needed below a 60 and I rolled a 64.
Oh no. Okay.
Herman.
Herman's carrying this whole thing the rest of the time.
Belinda, you lose 5 sanity.
Oh boy.
So yeah, both of you, I'll let you tell me what you do in the moment, as you've never seen anything like this disgusting, and the sheer inhuman nature of what you just saw is just like it's unfathomable. Jesus, I can't say it.
So what are you asking us for?
I was just asking for your reaction in the moment, just for flavor of what you do.
I do another scream vomit. and then I kind of desperately yelp out to Belinda, "Is that inside all of us? We got one of those in all of us."
And Belinda just so horrified by everything that's happening for years, breaks out of her fake persona accent and is like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
I love it. So now both of you need to make an intelligence roll, and you need to fail it, because that's the way you stay sane, is by not properly understanding what you just saw.
Man.
Just being like, it's a fun story.
Maybe we have to roll above or below. What was that?
You're trying to roll above your intelligence.
Good, yes.
Core, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I rolled an 85. So I will straighten my hair out and be like, I mean, that is so disgusting. I have no idea what is happening here. I don't know. Did we eat the same French fries, the same frites as her? I'm a little concerned.
Cool.
So my intelligence is at 50, which again, I think was low to begin with. But I did roll a 27.
Oh, so you are going temporarily insane, unfortunately, Franny.
Are we talking like Bugs Bunny insane? Where I'm like,
yeah, let me see how long you're going to be insane for. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Not very long. Not very long.
Herman is absolutely like, his reaction to seeing this is just dead eye turn, like without even thinking about it or moving quickly, just kind of has like turned around and is absolutely going to walk and try and get the gun and shoot this thing, if that's doable.
Yeah. So while your two companions are having this sanity shaking moment, Herman, you can run back to your room and fetch your rifle and come back in.
I brought it with me.
I'm sorry. I thought you had leaned it up against the wall. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I in this wall. I specifically like walked in, put it in the corner before I did anything else. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk over and grab it and just turn and boom.
I misunderstood. Okay, great. So give me.
Wait, in my insanity, I start cradling her as though she's my baby, my child, and saying she's all of us. We're all there, aren't we? She's all of us. It's the same thing inside all of us.
Oh my god.
That moment though where I was like, what the fuck is that thing? I brandish a dagger, but then I remember because I meta look at my character sheet, I remember that it's a prop dagger and not a real dagger. And I'm like,
Incredible. How many? I don't want to know how many props because I want to continually be surprised.
Well, we know she doesn't have tiaras because she had the opportunity.
I don't have them within 3 feet of me, but yes, I would have.
That's a nice dagger too.
It's a great dagger. This one's real. However,
what she said.
My character has a prop.
What she said.
Yeah.
Also, yes. Also that.
Yeah, I rolled on the table for Franny's insanity, but as Secret Keeper Clint pointed out, the mania that you have created far better than whatever I was going to pull out of that book. As you have like your mind just like a crack in a glass has become fragmented, and you're holding this sopping otherworldly version of this woman in your arms, and she's just sort of like, she doesn't seem to really have any resistance. She's just sort of like,
right, she's all of us.
And Dr. Best recoils. Yeah, just for fun, I should probably see how Dr. Best handles. Oh, he's seen so many horrible things. He's not having a problem. So Herman, you do have your rifle out, and you could tell me what you do as Franny has to all of your horror. I should probably make you roll another sanity roll just to witness what Franny's doing. But she's like cradling this body, and the body is the eyes are no longer twitching, and it's like that horrible
she's
scream.
All of us. She's all of us.
That horrible scream has kind of like died out, like.
Is it still moving?
It's just kind of like, it looks like a drowned body that might have been pulled out of a lake. That's the sort of posture of this thing.
Can I just, even though this is a prop, but can I just kind of poke it a little?
Where would you like to poke it?
I don't know. Just
face or body? Face.
Body, not a face, not face.
Look at that look, Franny. You poke it in the body, and it seems like surprisingly resistant. Like you poke it with the tip of your dagger and it kind of like you almost expected it to be softer because the face, you could see these like sort of gelatinous shreds of what was either used to be flesh or it was becoming flesh that are like hanging off of the face. So you're like, oh, I bet this is probably soft, but the body is not soft like you expect.
Okay, so is it petrified? If I go clunk, 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 like, will it make a sound?
Does it make a sound when you whack
if
on
I'm
it?
like, if I'm, not stabbing it, but if I'm just like, bump, bump, bump.
It feels like solid muscle. It feels like thick, solid muscle. And it makes like a stout sound like that.
So it's not hollow, but it's solid-ish.
I'm shushing it now and trying to comfort it.
And how about you, Herman? You took out the gun. I
understand.
I'd say that your shot is a bit impaired because Franny is holding this body.
I understand it's a complicated question, but is it alive? Does it seem to Herman to be alive still? In any way?
You can give me a spot hidden roll or a natural world roll or a. You could tell me if there's a different one you might like.
I almost want to make an argument for psychology, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take natural world. I'm going to take natural world.
At a glance, she does not appear to be alive, but I'll let you make this roll.
But yeah, so natural world. No, I failed on the natural world. I got a 53, and my natural world is a 40.
So you can't tell. She's certainly not resisting Franny's embrace.
Okay, I think specifically because I can't tell, I'm going to walk up and get as close as Franny will let me get and shoot it.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're just going to walk up?
Yeah. I think if I would have known it was not alive in that roll, I probably wouldn't have, but because I don't know, Herman's going to do it.
Okay. Where are you going to shoot her?
Andrew, why did
Head
you
her body? Head her body.
I'm gonna go head. All
right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Where are you gonna shoot her?
God damn it.
As you approach, and Franny, as you're kind of rocking her, you hear almost like a whisper, and it's hard for a second. It's hard to even place because the whisperer has no like lips, and you realize it's coming from this woman, and it's just this almost sound of like air coming out of her. But she says,
What does that mean?
And then she convulses and in a flash has lunged for Franny's throat, and that's where we will end this
I don't get to
session
shoot
of the game. We're going to come back and find out what happens with your gun. That is the end of part 1. It's a 2-parter.
I need answers!
I need answers too. Jesus, Franny, what the fuck? No, just kidding. No, I love it. That was great.
You said she was temporarily insane. I figured she would be like, I don't know. It kind of felt like she should be like more insane than if she had gradually gotten
that was perfect. Call of Cthulhu insane reaction. There's a whole table of manias that I was going to roll on. There's like 100 of them, and it could have been like, you're obsessed with keeping your shoes tied or something. Well, you did A+. That was great.
Boo seems to look. My dog seems to look very used. He won't look at me. He's like, I came every time you called me, and you
just the disgusting
me.
Game that we've been playing.
I'm not here from your amusement.
That was a ton of fun, and I can't wait for next Thursday. We're going to come to the conclusion of this adventure at the same time. Thank you so much, all these players. Just real quick, if you want to tell people where they can find you between now and next week, where can they find you?
Your house.
Great. Come on over. Just kidding. We can't.
I'm on Twitter at @ELIZA Skinner and Instagram at @eskins.
You can check out our Spelljammer 5e game on Monday, but you can also check out Eliza and I are playing a Spelljammer game tomorrow. We're doing a kind of like spin-off session as her character was plane shifted, and we're going to pick up the story right after her character got plane
They
shifted.
put my tiefling in space jail.
Yeah,
Now-
that's true.
Now we see what happens.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Twitch at BTH or at twitch.tv/Better Than Heroes, and you can follow us on Twitter at Twitter, BTHDND, whatever. I'm sorry, I lost sanity after we cracked open that cocoon.
The end of streams always gets me. I was like, I forget everything I'm doing.
Right.
Hi. You could find me at Neurological on Instagram and Twitter, and I stream lots of things with lots of people on lots of networks. So follow me and I'll keep you updated on what I'm doing. That's all I got.
Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next Thursday. And there's a little bit of post-show business for me to get through here. Here's the upcoming schedule here on Stream of Blood. This Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, it's time for more Blood and Blades, the shared setting Blades in the Dark series. If you're not familiar with Blades in the Dark, it's an incredible game. It's so much fun. This Saturday's game is going to be with the Kinahora. That is the crew of Shadows from the Better Than Heroes game that Harlan was just mentioning. I think I will maybe be popping into that game. I don't know, but that game is a ton of fun. Blades in the Dark rules, and this shared world setting on Stream Blood is so cool. It's such a good idea. You get to see how different groups of players affect each other in that world. It's very cool. And then Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, Ashley Birch, Ross Bryant, and Abubakar, I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Abubakar Salim are back in the deep end for more Vampires of Pittsburgh. And I apologize if I mispronounced that. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. You can find it on the podcatcher of your choice. You can subscribe it, download it, rate and review it, which is super helpful for a podcast. Call of Cthulhu 7th edition is designed by Chaosium Incorporated, game designer Sandy Peterson, and a whole bunch of brilliant folks. The original artwork for the Neptune Society is by Will Pottorff. Check out willpottorff.com. His art is amazing. He turns out horror art pretty much every day. Check him out on Instagram. Will rules. And the original music is by Warbird, that very cool, incredibly spooky opening song. Check out soundcloud.com/Warbird. The very absolute best way to support Stream of Blood is to subscribe right here on Twitch and to spread the word. Tell people what they're doing on here. Stream of Blood rules. Let me go off script here because I'm not Jared. This fucking stream rules. It's a very cool stream. It's so much creative programming. Jared and Clint put so much work into this, and Brian, all the people involved, they love these games and they put a ton of work in. They get amazing guests, and they all rule. So check them out. Subscribe on YouTube. Comment. Try to spread the word. That's it's very hard to build these circles out once you get to a certain point. And the way you build those circles out is people just telling a friend, like, "Hey, you should check out Stream of Blood. It's an amazing way to be entertained." You can binge hundreds of hours of scary role-playing games. Stream Blood is on Instagram and Twitter as _Stream of Blood _ and on Reddit at r/Stream of Blood. And the best way to connect with everything Stream of Blood is on our Discord. And this is where you can also be part of the Blood and Blades faction turns, the Blades in the Dark game that I was mentioning earlier. And because it is legally required that we do so, we are also on Facebook. Special thanks go to our producers and partners, Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks, our social media manager, Megan Arch, our YouTube content producer, Matt Moynihan. The Stream of Blood logo was created by Garrett Ross, and the opening animation is it's by me. I did that opening animation. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry if I clumsily fell down the stairs of those announcements, but it was a real honor to do this two-parter. I hope you all had fun watching, And we'll be back here next Thursday for part 2. Thanks.